Hey everybody, this is Kite Altera, and this video is actually a review for using grow lights. Now, for my specific situation, I found that I need to use grow lights because outside the weather is pretty bad and it changes basically on a dime, really. We only have a few months of summer, if you want to call it that, and then we go straight back to winter. So, lovely living up in the high north. So because of that, I wanted to. I basically didn't have any choice but to do indoor gardening. So when I did my research to see what would be a good way to grow them, because using fluorescent lighting is not actually the best way to grow, because I mean it's what we use inside just for lighting. That's all. It's nothing that's specifically geared towards growing plants. So I actually found grow lights, and at first I didn't know what they were. They just looked like any old, like party lights, if nothing else. But upon further research, I discovered that these grow lights, any grow light really, what they do is they emit certain lights that LEDs are actually light emitting diodes. That's what the acronym is. They actually emit a certain type of light spectrum that is used by the plants to generate food. So it would be the same thing as if you were to have them outside. The only difference is it actually uses most of the light energy instead of, they still use the energy produced by the sun, but they don't use all of it. But the LEDs are specifically geared towards the type of light spectrum that they need to grow to just live really. I don't know the exact science of it, but that's the gist of it. And I actually bought two of them. Actually, I have three of them, but the last one that I have is coming in the mail now. I got them off Amazon, and here they are. This one, and I have this one that's just a normal light. Now, they're pretty good. They cover about a 2.8 by 2.1 foot range. So that's if you have it at least 30 inches above. So, like this desk that I have them on, it's perfect. It's 30 inches exactly. And then when you take in the base and the actual stock of each of these lamps, that increases it even more. So, they can cover for the plants that I have, they can cover at least two, maximum about three or four, depending. Now, what I find being good, what I find is a good practice is if you actually have multiple ones, they kind of overlap each other, and that increases the magnitude of the light, so that even if a plant isn't directly hit by the grow light, the beam, it'll still get the nutrients that it needs from the light with along with the nutrients that it has in the soil. So an actual good thing to do would be to turn them on so you can see how it looks. I'm gonna have the link that I actually bought them from on Amazon. I'm gonna have that link in the description so you can check it yourself. And full disclosure, this isn't a promotion but for the specific company. I wasn't given some type of kickback saying, hey, if you promote our product, you'll get anything. It's just I want to try and get more into making YouTube videos, and this would be a good thing since I absolutely love gardening. So when you actually have LED grow lights, it is very good if you were to purchase these glasses, these safety glasses, which will protect you from the UV rays that they emit. Is it high amount? Like if you were to go in a tanning booth, I don't believe so, but it's still good because it's very bright and it could really hurt your eyes. Um, if you're going to be handling the plants and you're going to be around the grow light, turn it off. It'd be the simplest thing. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this light and show you guys how bright this actually gets. And I'll turn off this light as well. All right, so it gets very bright, very, very bright. That's why it's good that you wear these safety glasses. All right, here we go. Very, very bright, like I said before. Now, it's good for simulating outdoor environment to have it on at least 16 hours, depending on what cycle you're in. So if it's summer that you're going to be simulating, you want to have it on longer, then as time goes on, you want to try and reduce it. What I actually have, which I will have when I get the order, are these timers. It's an electrical timer. So what I will do, what the plan is to actually get the timer, plug it in, and attach a extension, not an extension cord, but a power strip. And once I attach to the power strip, I'll actually already have pre-programmed into it, since it's an analog electrical timer. Once it's plugged in, I'll plug in all these three, soon to be three lamps in, and when I'm gone to work, on a trip, hanging out with friends, whatever, the timer will do all the work. So the times that I want the lights to be on, it'll automatically turn on, and when I want them off, it'll automatically turn off. So that's another good thing to do if you don't want to, excuse me, if you don't want to consistently have to be coming home to work to turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. Just use a timer. You can also buy it from Walmart as well, but I just bought it from a company that actually makes their business off of it rather than Walmart, because, well, it's Walmart. You don't always get the highest quality products, to be honest. So here are the grow lights, like I said, and you can see it covers a wide area. I only have two lights now, and it's lighting up most of it. Again, I have the safety glasses on, so I can't really see the full magnitude of it, but you can just tell if you look here at the walls that, yeah, it's hitting everything. Now, of course, you want to try and get as much direct light as possible. So, like, if you see here with this light that I have, it's lighting up the squash and my strawberries now, and also hitting where my soybeans are and these garden beans. And this secondary light here is actually hitting my peppers, my two peppers over here, as well as my peas over there with the stakes that look like crosses. So I'm going to use the third light, because what I'm actually going to be doing is, here's where I'm going to have my my blackberry bush, and here is where I have my carrots. I'm going to have another pot, which will be right here where my foot is hovering around, and I'm planning to possibly grow some peanuts. Excuse me. I've never had the opportunity to actually grow peanuts, so I just thought, hey, let's try and grow some things that people don't normally grow. Strawberry, squash, that's normally grown. Soybeans, not so much. Carrots, yeah, a lot of, but blackberries, peanuts, not really. So I want to just try a whole wide variety of plants. I was actually going to do Brussels sprouts, but I changed my mind and I'll just do peanuts. I'll have specific videos geared to each plant that I'm growing later, but for right now, I just want to give you some of the basics of what I'm doing for my new indoor garden. So, that's about everything. Like I said, for these lights, they actually don't heat up. I've had these on at one time for 16 plus hours. Come back home, try to turn it off, didn't even notice any heat, because each of these actually have a heat sink on them, so you don't have to worry about it heating up or any fire hazard or anything like that. Um, the bad thing that I would say about grow lights in general is the fact that these lights, if you look, it tends to be like a spotlight. If you look down here, it doesn't. This would be actually better. If you look here, there's a spotlight effect to it. Now, of course, this is over 30-inch spread, so it looks like it's actually a little larger than 2 feet. But like I said, the actual beam for these lights is 2.8 by 2.1 feet from my measurements, at around 30 inches above the ground. So for here, it looks like it's actually a little bigger than that. But then again, since it's at a greater distance, it's gonna have a greater spotlight effect. It'd be more diffused. It'd have a wider area coverage. Now, like I said, it has a spotlight effect. So if you just want to purchase one, that's probably not the best idea, because like I said before, you can only get but so many touch so many plants with this. But if you wanted to do something Hold on, let me move this tie up really quickly because it's starting to make my the lamp fall. Anyway, um, so it's good to have multiples. Another thing is that these bulbs are very heavy. You can see for here, actually, what I had to lift up was the spine. I actually had to get some bamboo and tie it with these plant ties that you would like here. If you look at the beams, you can see I have those plant ties. I actually have to use them because the bulb gets very heavy, and this the shaft of this lamp is not very sturdy. Now it's different for these two lamps that I have here, because the actual system is a lot more supportive. The only thing that I would have to do in this case for this grow lamp is put a pin to actually stop the movement of the actual head, because if you take it out, as seen here, it'll just drop, and you can try and lift it, but it'll just drop. So a good thing is just to get it and get a pin, is what I do, and keep it stuck like that, and you can still move it every which way. The only difference is this joint right here, it will not let it flop over. So what I recommended, definitely if you're doing indoor gardening, another thing is that if you live in an area that has very poor sunlight, excuse me, sorry guys, long day. Yes, if you live in a place that has very poor climate, very hot, very cold, or if it's just you don't get a lot of sun, like it's very cloudy, then I would suggest that you use these grow lights. So yeah, that's about it. I'll have the link in the description, and this is Kite Altera with my feedback report on using grow lights for indoor gardening. If you like this video, please like, and if you really want to keep getting updates on my videos, please subscribe. Thank you, and have a very blessed day.